はい、それでは時間になりましたので始めたいと思います。皆さんおはようございます。おはようございます。
Now, I would like to open today's meeting. This is the first round of 2023 International Talk Live. I'm Kusaka of the
たくさんの方に
Naruto Educational University. Thank you so much for participating from all around the world.
アジア、たくさんの方から、たくさんの地域から参加いただいています。
From so many regions, people are participating.
何点か、お願いお伝えしたいことがございます。
There are several housekeeping notes.
この回ですね、アーカイブに残したいと考えてまして、
We would like to record this and then put it in an archive. And however, please refrain from recording on a personal level. Second point, those participants from the Zoom, thank you so much. You don't need to show your affiliates, or if you want, you can do that. Number 3, question to Ms. Takezaki or to the panelists. So those who are in the venue, raise your hand and please ask questions using a microphone. If you want to ask questions in English, that is very good. So please, all the foreign students ask questions proactively. And from the Zoom, if you would like to ask questions, please write questions in chat box. We would like to welcome many questions. Please ask questions to everyone. And those who are participating from YouTube Live, you can write questions in YouTube.
そしたらですね、次、本日の会の進行につきまして、
Next, about facilitation of this meeting. First of all, we would like to welcome Ms. Takezaki for a lecture. Then we will have question and answer session. So 1 hour and 10 minutes to 1 hour and 30 minutes, followed by panel discussion.
はい、先ほど全世界からという話をしたんですけども、
As I mentioned, we are having participants from all over the world. Initially, we were going to have meeting in Japanese only. However, the significance of this topic, this is very interesting. We decided to have the simultaneous interpreting so that we can disseminate the message to all over the world. So what's important is the depopulation and the society is getting older. And Japan is experiencing this for the very first time. It's the pioneer in a way. So this is a very precious occasion. So not only Japan, we need to disseminate this in English and archive this in English. That is very important, and we can accumulate the knowledge. That is why we decided to disseminate this in English. And it's decided on Monday, and we requested to the center. And interpreters were arranged very quickly. And students supported us to translate all the materials into English. So this is kind of a handmade way. So all the people supported us and the students supported us. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to welcome Ms. Takezaki. And prior to that, why we are having the 5th round or 2023 first round of the talk live. And I would like to share with you the backdrop of the reason why we welcome Ms. Takezaki. So this is the global educational course. This is the master's course, and we have about 100 students. 70 to 80% of them are the foreign students. So faculties and our center, well, we would like to show for the first hand the Japanese education field So I wanted to introduce the school in Japan. So 70 or 80% are the foreign students, and 20-30% of the Japanese are quite diverse, actually. Some of them finished teaching and finished the master's course and decided to become a student. And this teacher introduced us to the Ms. Takezaki, and they introduced us this Tosayama. And on a regular basis, we are exchanging. This year, on a monthly basis, we are having the exchange. This is a very good experience for abroad student. This is a life-changing experience. Some of them said so. And in a poster, well, the local remote school that you want to send the students, or you want to commute, and by all means, it takes 2.5 hours to commute there or to go there, but still you want to communicate with them, be in touch with them. Takezaki, thank you so much. Please welcome Ms. Takezaki. Hello, everyone. I am Takezaki. Sorry, our voice is cutting and off, and there's a sound problem. There's a sound problem. I cannot hear her clearly for the translation. Schools in the mountainous area is having more and more students, and I was requested to be interviewed, and we have this video of about 10 minutes. You can see this video and understand what we have done. So please enjoy.
At first, rice was explained by a girl. Actually, this March that she graduated from the school. Where did she go? So all of the classes are given in English in Osaka, in high school in Osaka, and she entered that high school. Some of our students are focused on their English education and going out of Kochi and join the classes given in English, and they wanted to become the expert using English. So these students have been born in this area one by one. And from now, using this slide, I will explain about the school. Growth of school and declining population and the population society. So the name of the school is Tosayama Elementary and Junior High School. When I came here, the new system was not approved by the government. And when I first came to here, so I was a school principal of the and both junior high school and elementary school. But the next year, so the new school was established, and the name of the school was changed. So actually, this name plate is expensive, but within 1 year, we made a change. Can you hear me? This is the overview of the school. 30 minutes drive from Kochi city, 14 kilometers as a distance. So the 30-minute drive bring you to the school surrounded by a lot of nature. Kochi is blessed with great nature. And specialties, Kochi is used strong and Shihochiku or square stem bamboo. And thin and square shaped bamboo are the specialties of this region. And yuzuzukushi is a sauce, including vinegar, soy sauce, and Asahi Shokuhin Corporation produced the yuzu-related product like yuzuzukushi. So yuzu stones were processed to produce very unique product specific to Tosayama. And as I already explained to you, from Kochi City Hall, when you go to the north, May, we checked the population as of May this year. 5 years ago, population was more than 900, but now it is 894. Population is decreasing. And the number of households have not been changed, but the population is decreasing. Of course, the number of children is decreasing as well. And from the past, the region of Tosayama, people have focused on education. And for example, a night school workshop or youth workshop. And at night, young people gathered to study in this area. So when I first came to this area, the society school integrated education is a key word. And the society education and the school education will get together in this area. So in that kind of area, Tosayama Gakusha is established. Please remember this background. And in the television, this local area was broadcasted. So I will show you a small video broadcasted in the TV program. People, talent is very important. Yamamoto-san, Mr. Yamamoto was in the small short video. He is a representative of the organization for many activities. And he is one of the Tosayama School Management Committee or Association. So in such an area, Tosayama Gakusha is situated, but there are some issues such as the population. In 2007, we merged with Kochi City. And please look at the red part. So the 2015, Tosayama Gakusha was established here. Now, population is 894. It is decreasing. If we leave it as it is, we have no children, no school, and marginal village. And in 2011, Tosayama 100-year plan was established by Kochi City. There are 3 pillars. One of them is the traditional organic agriculture, which is a core to produce the yuzu or bamboo or other agricultural product. So, and we branded those products and expand commercial routes. And another thing is that we have to invite more people from other areas. The exchange and the settlement of the people is important. And the Tosayama Academy is an NPO, which is responsible for this activity. And the third point, the education. And this is Tosayama Gakusha School. We established a new school with a charm. And from the central part of Kochi, we recruit many people who are interested in Tosayama. And we invite the children in the central area of Kochi, and we will continue this village for coming 100 years. The plan was established in 2011, and this is a mission of Tosayama that we can be a core of support for regional vitalization. And we have to be an educational model of the major mountainous zone. There are many schools disappearing, but we convert or reverse the tendency, and we change the concept of school zone. And we get rid of school zone boundaries, and we invite children outside of the original school zone. And of course, we have to make our school to be interesting and charming. And we utilize our curriculum. And also, we focus on two-way profits. The school should be good for the local communities, and children and students were raised in this community. So win-win relationship is our mission. Tosayama is a school to be chosen. So we want to make a change of mindset. When I came here, as we encouraged the education related people to join this idea. So at Tosayama, we have 3 segments at the first grade and the fourth grade. At the first segment, at the fourth grade, sixth grade, medium block, and eighth, ninth, the latter block.
方しないんですね、義務教育学校では。前期課程が小学校にあたって、後期課程というのが中学校ですが、ややこしいです。うちは前期ブロック、中期ブロックがあり、前期課程があり、後期課程。お話しするには便利。
complicated, so that it is convenient. So it is convenient. Generally speaking, they will call it elementary school, mid school, and high school. So we educate teachers and also children. Would, for example, use the English they've learned. So third grade elementary school students would use the English, what they've learned, and ask questions to the 8th grade junior high school student. So the communication is quite open.
学校は平成26年から
From the 2014, there is this committee, school operation committee. In Kochi Prefecture, there were 4. Now, Kochi Prefecture, all of them implemented this committee system. As you know, as a result of the committee meeting, well, there are 2 pillars. School operation committee, they discuss, mobilize by issue. So there is community by issue. For example, they are the mobilized team. The operation committee will have discussion, this and that. And then implementation of actions, there are 3. Learning community, life safety community, and collaborative education community. So the parents and educators and local members participate in this. And later on, local school joint task force this replaces these community activities. Together at the community school, they will learn. There is this school bus. So originally, Tosayama Elementary School kids were taking east bus and west bus, but there's additional one, south bus in the middle. This is a new one, as you see. The way back, let's say in the middle, 60:32 and 18:22. So to come to the school, there is only 1 bus, but on the way back, there are 2 time frames because junior high school kids have club activities. So elementary school kids go back earlier.
今は土佐山
At the moment,
地域内はこ
in
のバスが
Tosayama, in the region,
デマンドタクシーという、
the bus is called demand taxi because it is less and less. It's replaced by taxi.
現在ですが、その南バスと呼ばれる、
South bus at the moment,
子供を運んでくるバス
kids
は
outside of the region is carried by 6 mid-sized microbuses. So 73 students commute school by utilizing these bus.
生です。
This is the ninth grade
この子たちがいよいよ
children.
になったんですが、
And
ちょ
so
っと
this first grader is now ninth grade. And let's look at the trend of the numbers.
え
Initially,
全校の児童生徒数、私が行く前、
the
平
total
成
number of the students, 2014,
2014
Tosayama children, 100% Tosayama children. In total, there were 57. When I arrived there, the school started out,
複式学級が2学年ありました。
there were 98 students. So different grade students were jointly studying together back then. And from 2020 to 2016, numbers been increasing. And the last year that I
現在
worked there, 2021, the number of the students was 143.
1学年1クラスしかないんですが、
So,
20人という
one year, one class, and the upper cap was 20. So the
市教委の方は思ってなくて
nobody
ですね、
expected the number of the students would increase this much. So there were only 16 lockers at school. So if you have 20 students, there's not enough lockers.
募集の人数の定員を16人にし
They've
て、
decided they would accept only 16 students. So from 2018,
という
there was an opening from the first grader only.
募集をしていた
Up
んですけど、
until then, whatever the grade student is, they would accept before that. However, 9 years of a curriculum was formulated in a solid way. So if they come in from the middle, they cannot catch up because from the first grade, they were focusing on the English education. So in order to avoid that, there is an opening and receiving the applicants from the first grade. So kindergarten students, how many of them would come to the Tosayama school? So from 16 minus, let's say 10 will come, and then 6 would open. So applicants would be, generally speaking, more than the openings.
くじ引きになります。
And then the lottery system is used.
公立の学校ですので試験もありません。
This is the public school, there is no test. So it's only the lottery. And people who fail in the lottery, so they want to come to school
探して
still, so they will look for houses and they will move to Tosayama area. So there were many open houses, but not anymore. People come in and move in, or they will build the house
ですが
in Tosayama area. So that is very nice. I'm grateful. We have this 100-year
こういうふうに中山間地の
plan. So in a mountainous area, local area activation housing. So that's what we have. So a baby is okay, but you have to have children to go to school in Tosayama area to move into these housings. So after the kid graduate from the 9th year, they have to move out. That's the condition. By doing so, we always have the circulation of young population and a certain number of population.
活性化住宅というのがです
We
ね、
call it
今
activation housings.
土佐山学者
At the
が
moment, Tosayama school is here.
この周りに
So around this Tosayama school, there were several housing areas.
まだ増える土地を見つけて活性化住宅
So
を
it is increasing. We are finding out, identifying good land and building these houses. And people can rent out these housings for reasonable prices. So after the 9th grade, they have 3 years to move out.
その卒業して3
That's the
年
condition.
それ以降は
And
どうして
after
も
3 years, they must move out. That is the rule.
土佐山学者ですが、もう本当に普通の
Tosayama School,
小学校、中学校と
This
同
is
じ
a
ですので、
normal, general, public
研究取材こういったのを
elementary school, junior high school, and senior high school. And we have this philosophy.
145名、
There
今
were
年は児
There
童
are 145 students,
ということです。
94 children, 51 students, and then outside of the regions, so let's say 50% of the students are from outside of the area. So this excludes the residents in Tosayama.
それ
So
を全
we count people who move into Tosayama as local residents.
部外
So excluding them, let's say 65% of the students are outside of Tosayama area.
希望した理由っていうのは英
The
語
reason why they want to come here, well, expectation for English education and Tosayama learning, comprehensive lifestyle learning is very attractive, and learning in a small classroom.
中
So
には
those are the reasons why they want to come here.
30人という
So 40, 30,
では
this is a big group. Sometimes it's difficult to have the relationships. So kids who can't build the relationships or express themselves or not good at talking with others.
70% ぐらい
So they actually, well, 70% of our such children who decided to come to this school.
育てますからねと
But
私が
our school,
会の時に言うんですが、
at the explanatory meeting, I always say our educational policy. So everyone's welcome. Everyone's accepted. But at the Tosayama school, this is the policy, and I make sure to clearly communicate that at the very beginning.
お話し
Regarding English education,
最終のゴールということで、
final objective,
英検2級
that is to pass the step test grade 2. I'm an educator of English, and then junior high school and step 2. It's quite difficult, but they can take on challenges to pass step 2. No. A school principal, they have to pass the test.
土佐山学者にはで
In
す
order
ね、
that, Tosayama school, well, we have ALT now. But at the time when we opened the school,
外国青年を
English
やっ
school,
てく
a
れています。
foreign teacher were hired.
実際に英語が喋れるように、英会話
English speakers. So English school know-how were implemented in the school education so that kids will become fluent. We have
で、
invested
平成
large
30
amount of money.
開校してなのが27年ですので、
2018,
3年後には、9年
third
生
year of the school opening, 5 out of 9th grade passed the step 2. After that, every year,
必ず合格者が出ています。びっくりしたのは、
every year we always have those students who would pass. And sometimes it's surprising, the second grader would pass the 2. And then the third grader passed the pre-2.
僕もやってみよう、私もやってみようと。
All the junior one, younger ones, influenced or stimulated by their brother or bigger sisters passing the test.
学校はですね、その習った英語を実際に
And
使う
English needs to be used in many occasions, and we have these occasions. So foreign students in Kochi University or sister city, Surabaya, so we have the exchange foreign students. They will come in once every couple of years. And at Tosayama, we have this homestay families. And from the Singapore, on the right bottom,
ちょっと里帰りするので、子どもた
well,
ちを一緒に
Tosayama is focusing on English education, and this Singapore school made a proposal to study English together with the Japanese children of ours school. And also, Naruto Education University foreign students come in. So we have this abundant opportunities for the students to communicate in English, utilize their English that they've learned at school. So first grade, second grade in the lifestyle department, and third and fourth comprehensive learnings. And these three, regionality, communication, career, these three are intertwined. We have various themes in the locality, and we will appeal that and learn. And that is to be fully used for their future career formation. So main pillars, one of them is communication ability. So when you explain to the non-Japanese, it's naturally you switch that into English. But communication ability is the same in English or Japanese. In the beginning, we just combined what they've learned in elementary school and junior high school. But from the second year, to make it a full use, we connected from the first to the ninth grade. At our school, we have 9 years of this learning curriculum. So first and second is the lifestyle learning. So they experience so much fun things. And third and fourth, we will add learnings on top of that. So first to fourth, this is the first block. So they play, experience, and enjoy so much for 4 years. And then from 5th to 7th, that is to reflect on Tosayama. These 3 years are to face the challenges of Tosayama. As I said, London, gradually the number of the students decreasing, depopulation is happening and aging is accelerating, young people are going out. And then the forestry is not successful. So those challenges they've learned from the 5th to 7th. So from the 1st to the 7th grade, all the children will learn the good and bad, pros and cons on Tosayama. Then 8th and 9th grade, they will think about how to contribute to Tosayama, what to do, how to do. So there is this 9 year of curriculum, and Tosayama learning is very, very useful.
For example, at the first grade and second grade, they are enjoying collecting yuzu citron or making plum syrup. At the second year, they planted sweet potatoes and they released baby sweet fish. And the third grade, fourth grade, they focus on study. That is a big hotel, very famous hotel in this region. Why the hotel is very popular, and also the blended Tosajiro chicken is one of the specialty of Tosa or Kochi, and students investigate the chicken, why it is delicious and how to read them. And also there is a Kagamigawa River in Kochi and lower area at the Tabit. But on the upper area, it's very clean and transparent, and they learned about the rivers, nature, and people. At the first block, this kind of education is provided, and fifth grade, sixth grade. So the fifth grade student experience rice production. So in the Tosayama, what are important elements for rice raising? That is a study topic, and we related several topics. In the second year, sweet fish. First year, plum collection. Fourth year, they learned sweet fish and rivers. And fifth grade, we made a connection between rice and other things they already studied to sell the rice. And what we did was that the last picture, this is the direct sales depot of the agriculture product. And raw egg rice using Tosajiro chicken egg is provided in Bar Tosayama, the shop. And tamago kake gohan or raw egg rice has something to do with rice production.
じゃあ他の
And there are many raw egg rice menus in other restaurants, but we have to differentiate our product. So we invent a new sauce which is a good fit with the egg rice. So as for you saw in the TV program, they learned from their seniors for appealing their the agriculture product. But since they were elementary school children, they cannot sell the product. So they invited the culinary school teacher and they utilized the knowledge in their home keeping subject, and they made a proposed, and teacher realized the product. And in Baru Tosayama Festival, the product was sold. And popular voting was conducted, and out of 5 kinds of sauces, the 3 were selected as a popular sauces. And those children made a presentation to the in the companies for those 3 products. They talked about the 3 sources that they energetically enthusiastically produced. And they were not commercialized, unfortunately, but in Baru Tosayama, there is a company called Tosayama Explanatory Company in Baru Tosayama. So they are selling those 3 sauces. So the flavor is used citron, and another one is a plum flavor. So when you go to Tosayama Exploration Company, you can enjoy a different raw egg rice with a different flavor. So there was a connection between the learning of others and rice production. And those students sold rice when they became 8th grade.
お米作り5年生でやって、
Actually, they sold rice the year 5.
作った有名な
So this is very famous rice produced in Tosayama. And 6th grade, they changed the topic. So to make our product to be more popular, we maybe produce billboards, and AR was utilized, and the smartphones were used for that. So the explanation of the community or the product can be done by the gadget, and billboards were created. At 270,000 yen was necessary to produce billboards. And when we applied for a specific program as a subsidy, it was provided. And they made a presentation and to win 200,000 yen. And for 1 year, they have created their idea to make billboards situated in the very center of this area. And that was a topic of the year 6. And the year 7, even if the billboard is situated in the center area, people can't know the boundary of Tosayama area. And the second one, when they became the 7th grade, they set the billboard at the boundary of Tosayama area. Especially the entrance of Tosayama area, they set the billboard. This project was a 2-year project. So just putting a billboard was not enough to attract the people. So during the retrospect of the lesson, each time, they judged that they did not reach their target. And they created a new idea to reach the target. So just putting a billboard is not enough. So they were not a passive attitude. They had a proactive attitude. So centering the billboard, the bar festival should be carried out. So it is an expansion of the idea starting from billboard to the bar festival. So actually, we had only festival in spring, but they added another festival in fall because the colored leaves are very beautiful in this area, and user citrons fruits were grown. And to make people realize the attractiveness of this area, not only spring, but also autumn festival was started to be held. And during the festival, raw egg rice and bread, that was the target of third grade, were sold there. And from first year grade to the ninth grade, they got together to make the festival successful, starting from planning to completion of their activities. There are many activities that they have been involved. So this was taken up for the TV program, Youth Festival. So at first there was no Yuzu Citron Festival, and they thought of holding the festival. Tosayama Yuzu Citron should be blended. And in Kochi, there is another village, which is Umaji village, which is very famous as Yuzu Citron. So they use citrons and Imajimura and use citrons in Toshiyama. How different are they? And the school principal wanted to visit there. And they made a presentation to the principal why they wanted to go to Umajimura, because they wanted to learn what was the difference. And chartering a bus, they visited Umajimura to learn their user citrons, finding the difference between theirs and Umajimura's. And their user citrons were superior. 200 million yen sales was realized in Umajimura. So the with pride, sorry, the 200 million sales was Tosayama. So they are proud of themselves, and they asked Umajimura how much you sold. But unexpectedly, they said that 1.3 billion. So they were far high sales than they were so disappointed, but they never gave up. They tried to think of something. It takes 2.5 hours to Umaji, but Tosayama was more closer to the central area. So the yuzu citrons can be fresh as for the flavor. And yuzu flavor related product was sold in yuzu festival. Visitors buy them, and keeping their freshness, they can go back to their own places. So the production association helped them to realize yuzu festival. And the previous year, and in Tosayama area, firstly, there was a yuzu festival, and actually, they expected to take 2 hours to sold out, but 50 minutes, all of them sold out. And they were so happy. And a teacher said, what was your product purpose? Selling your product was your initial purpose? No. That you wanted to PR the product of Tosayama. You wanted to PR Tosayama. So that within 2 hours of the festival time. So, but when other people came to the Tosayama after sold out, they were not blessed with the festival. So they produced another idea so that they attracted the human resource or monetary support to step forward. And 65,000 they got 65,000 by giving a presentation. And when they gain some profit, they return to their community. There is a nursery school, and they provide something necessary in a nursery school. They produce something, they sold them. They gained a lot of money, but they returned all the money to the local communities. And, they are local residents, and students made a proposal, made a presentation, and they utilized the feedbacks of a local resident, and their activities were taken up in a newspaper like that. And they re-proposed youth festival, the joint hold of the youth with the Youth Production Association. And central area was chosen as a venue, and they developed youth product by themselves, and not depending on the local people. They collaborated with a cake shop, and Asahi Shokuhin, and the fried chicken using yuzu citron was one of the product, and they asked the companies to join their project, and they tried the taste to improve the taste.
ゆずの事務所にも電話してました。来てくれませんかっていうので、はい。でも、それはもちろんブーでしたけれども、とにかく自分たちでほっといてもどんどんアイデアを出してですね、はい、ゆず祭りを
They came up with the various ideas. They would call up the artist's office, or they would approach to the mayor or governor.
ですね。プレゼンをして狙っているのが
Thank you for watching the video. In this way, students give presentation and communicate with the business people. So spontaneous questions asked and they can answer. So that kind of capabilities needs to be gained. So they would assume what question would be come up. Asahi Food
どん
Company,
なことを聞かれるかっていうのはもうあらかじめこう分かっている。で、あの子たちだけが
in
やってる
advance, students can assume what kind of question will be raised.
なので全員がああいう
So all of them, all the students gave presentation in that way.
岡崎市長のところにも行き
So they visited Mayor Okazaki, Governor Ozaki.
言われたんです
He
けど
said 15 minutes I can allocate for the students. But as a result,
興味を持っていただきまして
the governor became very interested in the presentation, and he spared 30 minutes or so.
そしてご挨拶までしていただ
On
い
top
て
of that,
大盛
on the
況
day of the event, it was very successful. But there are some learning points.
なので2
Last
時間
year, products sold out within 15 minutes. So second year, the challenge is to have the event for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So before, all the products were on the table, so they sold out so quickly. This time, students were putting the product little by little, and promotion method. It's a little bit transitioned that the expiry date is on the date, and then students cooked some soup, and then they became divisive and creative that the customer flow should be divided, and they were successful in making it last for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Actually, I have 5 minutes to go.
動画いっぱいあるので見て
There
い
are
ただき
many movies that I would like to show you.
その次の学年がやったのが
The next year, student did this to promote Tosayama. They've created leaflets, and if you disseminate this, that's it. Not good enough.
8年
So
生
the
の
second year, when they became 8th grade,
何回も上がってもらうにはスタンプラリーだということで
stamp rally would be useful so they can go visit many places. So they created the stamp rally, but local people helped too much. And without learning, in the 9th grade, what they did was to plan the sightseeing tour of Tosayama. So before graduating, learning so much, and they are proud, they have confidence that they know about Tosayama more than anybody. So they want people to experience the true Tosayama, and they can convey what's good about Tosayama with their own voice. They want to contribute to very well balanced, so the rock will never fall. You will never fail. This is the whole day tour, and the lunch was provided. The local ladies cooked the local food, utilizing local raw materials. And then at the hotel, the chef created some cookies and cakes utilizing citrus fruits. And people get to enjoy some coffee or tea. And the rotting stone, well, it's in the mountainous area, so bus cannot go in. We negotiated with the taxi company. And children are commuting with the demand taxi. We requested them to give us discount. In that way, tourists switched from the big bus to the taxi. And 2 students became a bus guide. Right top, this picture, the participants. And the bottom one is the lunch. And there's so much plentiful of the Tosayama local food. At the end, tourists came visit the school. What we are proud of is the school. So children showed around the school, and then in the end, they gave the gift of a song, Sukiyaki song, and they sang together, and all of them cried of joy, tears of joy. Students and participants together enjoyed so much, and we did a questionnaire survey in the end, and they would love to come back again. And then 1 grade lower students did this. Tosayama trees. There are many forests in Tosayama, and people used to sell the trees, but now forestry is not happening at the moment. So how to sell the trees? There are so many trees around. And that was the previous year of Tokyo Olympics. Athletes would stay in this area. So to these athletes, we have shaped the trees and made this corsage and gave a present. So athletes would often wear this. So at the opening and closing event of Tokyo Olympics, they can use this corsage utilizing Tosayama plants.
いうことで、これもテレビ番組です。これもちょっと飛
And
ば
this
し
is
ます。
also introduced on TV. They visited the prefectural building and presented this.
はい、これは実際にホストタウン事業で
And this is the host town business. Singapore badminton athletes came visit, and in English, prefecture people asked students to give presentation in English, so they did. As a gift, our students gave a gift of this wooden-made corsage, the badge.
クマさんは木でオリンピックのスタジアムを作っていました。木でやって
Olympic stadium was made of wood by this guy. So we believed he would adopt our ideas and negotiated it. However, it was too late. Already everything was fixed. 1 year beforehand. So he got very interested, but the students' ideas did not become real. I apologize.
発表会というのを
Now, Tosayama Learning presentation session.
行事になります。
This is an annual event. This is the event in the end of the third grade.
プレゼンをしたり交渉したりと
As
か
I
いう
said,
つけるために
to gain the capability to give presentation and negotiate.
だから全部は
So
言えないです
each one of the students have 5 minutes.
縮めてですね
They need to summarize what they want to say in 5 minutes and give presentation.
やってるんですね。発表
And actually, this kind of presentation session is done at any school. But as I said, this is a poster session. So post-presentation interaction is important. So spontaneous questions are asked and they need to answer. And in the older grade, they need to respond. They need to answer to the questions in English as well. 9th grade have done this 9 times already. So at the very end,
9回目のプレゼンというと
9th presentation, before the graduation, there is no mistakes being made. They're just being natural. No preparation necessary. And they can talk about what they want to talk. This 9 years of curriculum is our strength. This is our appeal point.
それもまた飛ばします。どんな感じで
I
プレゼント
wish I could show you the video, but I have to skip because of the time limitation.
実際の様子ですね。
This is how they present. This is a poster session. So schools, hallways, and the hall, and they were looking at everywhere. Children and local people, parents, and related stakeholders, Asahi Food Limited company members. So everyone joined together and listened to these students' presentation. And what's important of the communication ability is to pay attention to the others.
難しい言葉使っても1年生には通用
So
通じません。
first grade student would listen to the 9th grade student, and 9th grade students needs to speak in an easy to understand way. So even the young children would understand them. That mindset is important. And ALT assistant teachers would come in, so the students would present in English. And the movie have this English presentation as well, but can I show that to you even though time is limited? Thank you.
Let us start the presentation. We will introduce our product. We baked bread. We made 4 pieces of bread. Please look at them. And let's make bread together. Yeah, we mix all the ingredients. So we love bread. So the voice is not clear enough to be heard. Voice is not clear enough to be heard. But we are now talking about the secret to make tasty bread. And also she is explaining how to make bread. This is a presentation done by 6th graders into the Yamagata school. They learned about forest. And they will introduce the product out of forestry. So that they talked with a local resident who are involved in the forestry. And they created the pork tail. The grandma made a product out of the wood grown by grandpa to produce a good product a lot. So actually, my house is surrounded with the forest, but there are not people who can take care of forest, which is an issue now. So we want to keep people who take care of forest. Are you ready? This is about the user festival. Voice quality is not good enough to be heard. Sorry, but this is about user festival.
Usually it's fruits, citrus fruits, and it's the taste is bitter and sweet. And Koji Prefecture is famous for yuzu.
というふうに即興で
So impromptly, they made a presentation to answer the questions. So the quickly responding abilities were obtained by the ninth graders. She passed the grade 2 test of the ACAN English proficiency test. And in each group, the presentation like that was made. And since this is a poster session, this was a poster session, they wanted to invite many people to see. So they made a lot of contrives. Please look at their smiles. So the authentic, they want to be authentic. So now I have been involved in the school for 9 years. And we got a help from the exchange student of Naruto School of Education, University of Education, and a student used the English in their activities. And this February, there was the conference done in English. And Tosayama was one of the schools leading the activities, and Sato Sensei present in this meeting helped us a lot, and Sato Sensei praised the student at comprehensive learning English, and for all of them, students try to be authentic. So this challenge will continue till now. The first grader became fifth grader, and graduates were not able to be involved in the festival. But now these students succeeded the tradition, and these students were ninth grader who are enjoying the last user festival. Thank you very much for your listening. I am closing my presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the Q&A session. If you have any question, please feel free to ask your question. So for those who join online, please use chat box. And if you want to speak out directly, please use raise hand button to set your microphone on to speak out. Do you have any questions?
はい、どうぞ。はい。
Please.
ナルト教育大学の大学院。
I am a graduate school student of Naruto University of Education. I'm Sano. That was interesting. So I have two questions. One is that I am involved in local community development and revitalization. And I'm young. And if I say something very strongly, I make a fight with the older people. And children are younger than me. and genuine, and their communications is done well with other adults. And what is the influence of the children's activities to other adults? What is a change among adults? So actually, Tosa Yamada, to enter this school, the competition ratio is very high. So the people with a high motivation can be chosen, maybe.
教育効果で
Tosayama 学者 education
生まれてしまう感じがしてしまう。
what is the cause of the success? From the beginning, the children were excellent, or how they were grown and developed their abilities after entrance of the school. One of them is that the communication between children and the local people. So as I said, originally Tosayama, the region children in a whole community, that was a tradition. And if children want to do something, adults try to think how to support them. Actually, it seems that only proposals from the children made a success. No, actually, underneath the local people, adult local residents help children. And children didn't know, but adults or local resident teachers made pre-discussions with the relative people to make the plan successful. And and we asked the relevant people, if the plan is not bad, please tell them it's not good. So they may be disappointed, but they can stand up again. So the negative feedback is also important, even though it is discouraging, but they never give up. They think of new ideas. They start to think about the topic again. So the local resident also said that good is good, bad is bad. If the plants are not so bad, good, they said it's not bad. So there is a win-win relationship between adults and children. And recently, the local residents often say the children have made a lot of effort, so we adults have to make more effort. So this is the influence of children's activity to adults surrounding them. And another thing is that some people come outside of Tosayama or outside of Kochi. There are some interested in English education, but not all. So the reason why they enter this school is that rather than the popularity of this school in the TV, but the children can learn surrounded by nature in a small group. So the more close relationships between children and teachers is available. And the people who come here to want to pass Aiken grade 2, some of them so, but not all. When they came here, their academic abilities are not so high, but in the comprehensive learning class, they utilize the knowledge of subject in the classes, like knowledge of nutrition, to make good sources, what nutritions are necessary. So they think about the topic like that. And they also produced a lunch box using Tosayama product, because Tosayama people live longer. Maybe Tosayama product, agriculture product, have a good ingredient for longevity. So they utilize the knowledge coming from the subject. Their academic abilities have increased, and among ninth graders, their academic examination results became higher. Their scores were higher by 20 points than the average. So it's not the academic ability at the entrance. So the students who have issues to tackle have grown in a good way, which is our the good point. And the person online, the children, for children to be active, I think the appropriate feedback is given by teachers for their proactive activities, how teachers are involved in the activities. And as a teaching position, I think they cannot be a coordinator because they are teachers. But how to manage the teaching method of the teaching? As the roles of teachers are so big, as I mentioned a little bit, as a preparation, so we take care, we carefully do preparation. And now the principal of Fukui actually have worked in Tosayama School for 25 years. From Tosayama Junior High School career, if we got together, he taught their parents, their elderly. So she is very well-known person, and she has been responsible for Tosayama study. And teachers have their own ideas, but they don't tell. And without telling, not telling their ideas, but they make children to think. And if the idea come out of the children, the teachers agree. That is a good idea, like that. And from the beginning, it's difficult for a third grader, fourth grader, to do from the beginning to the end. So what can be done by them or discussed between teachers in the April meeting and summer holidays, teachers discuss about how to guide a student in advance. They have the pictures to how to guide a student.
ところとか、そちらの方へ誘導するほどは引っ張らないとは思うんですけども、そういったような役割をしていま
That
す。
kind of role played by them. So full preparation is made, and it costs money. It requires money to do and that. And it's my role to gather money. Kochi Prefecture, if you give presentation, and then this is the money that is required. In Kochi Prefecture, there is a presentation event done by all the principals. And if you want 500,000 yen, you have to demand 1 million yen or so. So I have to be a Steve Jobs. So there is no script. So just like Steve Jobs, I will walk around the stage as I give presentation. If you don't allocate the money here, where the money should go. So in that assertive way, in 3-4 years, I raised the fund of 50,000 yen 3 or 4 times, or I would go visit businesses. And then 65,000 yen or how much, it doesn't matter, but it's kind of like a sales promotion. So I'll bring my business card and request them to help us to listen to the kids' presentation. And the teacher, a classroom teachers, well, they have this discussion. And then when the principal Fukui Well, the very pinpoint appropriate advice was given. And then the principal collaborate in running the classroom. And then this classroom teacher has grown to become a principal. Everybody followed her leadership. She had lots of knowledge. So that is the role of a teacher. So sometimes as a facilitator and do some coaching. And the iron rule is that the kids have to think on their own. Thank you very much. There are many questions. One more thing. One more question, and we will transition to panel discussion. After 12 o'clock, we would like to extend for more questions. How about questions from the foreign students? We would like to welcome questions from foreign students.
Sure. Thank you for your presentation. Yes, your students are doing amazing things when it comes to product development and marketing. Do you have any plan of bringing somebody maybe from a factory or somewhere to a kind of mentor them so that maybe it can shape their career goals? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So at the companies that children go present, well, some business requested some student to come to work for them in the future. And prefectural city hall, prefectural building, please come and work with us in the future. That's what they say. Also, Tosayama Academy, NPO group. So they requested the kids to come and work with them. So there's this high evaluation from the businesses because kids can present in English. They gain such capabilities. So half jokingly, maybe, where everybody is smiling. Well, you got a future job already, but that's what they say very often. Did I answer to your question? Thank you so much. Now we would like to close here for the next session. Now it's time for panel discussion. So all the panelists, please come forward.
はい、それではここからパネルディスカッションに移らせていただきます。
Now let's open panel discussion. So initiatives towards schools that work together with local communities, the future of schools and communities, that is the topic. We have 3 panelists today. Yuko Takezaki, an assistant professor, Kochi University, Professor Hiroki Ishizawa, and Naruto University of Education, and Eri Hayato, Kochi Prefecture public school teacher. In the beginning, a brief theme I would like to introduce, followed by a discussion by 3 teachers. So, elementary school, high school, there is depopulation and aging society. 1958, that was the max, and then reduction rate is 53% now. So, 7.3 million back then, and the reduction rate is this much, surprising. Along with that, number of the schools also decreasing across Japan. Every year, it is reducing by more than 200. And these are the newspaper articles. So the news last year, July, in 10 years, students reduced by 30%. Among 1,892, 346 faced the reduction of the number of the students by 30%. Elementary school, junior high school, there is 3,000 school reduction in 10 years. Now, Tokyo newspaper, January 1st. So in local area, depopulation is accelerating. Tokyo as well, it is accelerating. Number of the students of the public elementary school are reduced, had a reduction after 11 years, 8% in the coming 5 years, 18% in coming 10 years. Machida City, there are 42 public schools in the city. So the number of the elementary school will be reduced from 42 to 26 by the year 40. So this is about the depopulation and aging society. Now, this is the 2015 December committee member discussion. So we talked about the open school and also a transition to the schools together with the local communities. And community building as a school, as a core. So this is what the exactly Takezaki sensei talked about. So there are some successful cases. So there are 8 topics, and then there are researches going on. Following year, in the year of 2016, a summary of learning instruction plan was made. So students need to learn the knowledge to survive. So what to learn, how to learn, what is required to carry out those abilities. That was discussed. And this is the theme of today's discussion. In a depopulating society, along with the local community, a school needs to exist. So future school and the future ideal state of the local communities. So objective contents and methods from these 3 perspectives, we would like our panelists today to have a fruitful discussion. Appreciate it in advance. Shall we get started? Now, objectives. Professor Ishizaka? Can I use my slide? Thank you. Hello. Naruto Education University. My name is Ishizaka. Let me introduce myself in one slide. I studied abroad and I worked there at Latin America for about 7 years. Engaged in JICA, International Educational Cooperation activities. And I was in the Latin America and African countries. Then in the university, I get in charge of some project. And one of them is the school operation. So we engaged local community people. And I was in charge of how to operate school together with local people. And in parallel, I wanted to do something in Japan. And in Tokushima, there is a city called East Miyoshi City, Inland City, or a town. So community school, CS, community school. So I got engaged in supporting the community school. So Tosayama School is one of the community schools as well. Like that way, I supported this East Miyoshi town for about 4 years. In the beginning, so I was supporting East Miyoshi town, and then education ministry requested me to work on like 10 years span. The community school has been operated for 10 years, 2008 to 2017. And impact survey, so that we can see some outcome. So they came consult with me. So I conducted some questionnaire survey and national exam that is conducted nationwide. So I checked the 10 years amount of that data and capture the content. So this is the local community, school, together, what is the outcome, what are the challenges? So in that way, I have evaluated this. So now, there are many deliverables. And Takezaki sensei shared with us some successful cases. But looking at the data from my perspective, so nationwide study survey. So do you find anything positive about yourself? That is one of the questions. We have gathered 10 years amount of the result. And it's actually 6 years of data was gathered because some years they didn't conduct the survey. So yes, I strongly feel that I've got the positive aspects. So increasing of number of fields that they have stronger self-esteem. So this is the third grade junior high school students. Those are the subjects. And this has becoming stronger, obviously.
So based on the interview and the questionnaire results, so actually we got the information and communication between children and the local resident. The security feeling can be available. Integrated study is very fulfilled, and the career education can be carried out in a good condition. So those are the effect and the meaning and the result of the CS activities. And among them, what I focus on is a human relationship and trustful relationships were nurtured between children and local residents, and between children and teachers, including guardians. Between 4 groups, there have been good human relationship built. And in local school issues and topics or something that everybody think about discussing with each other ought to be done is one of the topic, and the implementation will be done based on their plan, and they will implement the plan together, and the result will be shared by all 4 groups. And this flow is very important for the community school. And then already, I already stated, teachers actually learned the specialties as expert, like agriculture expert or other people with different careers. The teachers able to learn the new things from local residents through CS activities. And on the other hand, there are various issues of the CS activities as well. Number one, often pointed out, since there is a population decreasing, the number of residents is decreasing as well. The successors is a problem. And currently, the local residents support school activities, and they help children, and we are able to nurture a human relationship. But how about 10 years later, 20 years later, we have to nurture successors? Of course, we have to think about monetary or the money budget aspect, and Takeda sensei is like a business, the salesman. Higashi Miyoshi town focuses on the funding from various sources to utilize CS activities. Next. and other things. So that there have been a good human relationship nurtured, but all of the residents participate. Some teachers do not participate. They don't know the enough knowledge about local communities. And they, in Higashimiyoshi town, the participant ratio of the teachers was lower. And a very unique situation of Higashimiyoshi town is that the teachers focus on teaching and relatively the clerical staff and the local residents are responsible for local activities. And between the members of the school management council, information sharing is available. But some, although participate in the activities, if they are not members, information is not shared in some cases, which is an improvement point. And from now, I switch the topic. This is the School for All project by JICA. This is one of my important tasks. I will introduce this project. The JICA have implemented the SFA project, School for All project, and a resident join school management. That system is introduced in this project, and in 2004, it started in Niger, and currently 8 countries in Africa, 53,000 schools participate in the project, and they utilize the school management council. And a big difference between the Japanese one is that the school management council members are selected by voting. It is more the voting is utilized to choose by democratic way. And another important point is improvement of academic abilities of the student. Supplemental learning is utilized to increase the children's abilities, and the number of hours used for learning have increased by this project. Next, please. This is a result of SFA, School for All project. You can see the same data in homepage of JICA. So the most important thing is increasing academic abilities of the children. And without school, some schools didn't have a school management council, but when they started this project, what was the result? It was investigated. And for arithmetic operation in Madagascar, after introducing this project, the abilities increased. And as for the reading and writing abilities in Niger, their student ability increased as well. As for the repair of school buildings, local residents participate in the activities as well, together with the activation of educational activities. In Naruto University of Education, the trainings for SFA is provided. And what are the content of the SFA? For 3 weeks. A teacher of the Board of Education in Africa, a principal or the target, and from them, and they learn the Japanese education system and the CS, international CS, and Japanese Board of Education members and members from school visited Naruto University to receive trainings. And there are various plans. And if you are interested, the participants are interested in introducing the plans, they have done so. And learning from the international cooperation. together with local residents, we think about the issues and results of the school education. And results on the issues are almost the same between other country and Japan. And if we understand the result, the motivation can be raised, and for a higher quality of school linkage and between school and local application, local resident. And when I visited Africa to support, it is the support the international cooperation. But when I listened to the local residents and the teachers, I learned the actual situation there. So although it was international cooperation, but I myself learned from these activities. And another thing is that supplemental learning activities in the JICA project, we visualized the content, and we provided examinations as well to see the result as a visualized way. And also, in Tokusayama school, they already implemented, but in the community, ordinary community school, the local community, students, teachers, among them, the issues are the issues are solved. But sometimes people outside of three groups are invited to enrich the activities, like overseas people or the Ministry of Education or a university. And although there is a framework as a CS, but there are various ways for the development of the speed and direction. So it can be flexible. Lastly, sorry. The objective, content, and method. This is my idea. So maybe there will be some overlapping with what I said. The object is to increase the educational effect and revitalization of local activities and school activities. But the most important thing is to nurture trustful relationships. And children first comes first, but teachers or other adults should be first as well for sustainable activities. The children first and adult first. So each local resident are satisfied with the results of their activities. They are motivated. And even if the scale is small, the various groups concerned should be involved, and information sharing is very important, and we have to provide chances for information sharing. And also discussions are very important together with the information sharing. So there are no difference in the position. In the same table, we join the discussions as the positions are different, but we all are the parties concerned. So, and sometimes selecting and discarding the programs are important. So it's not necessary to continue all of the project. If we feel some difficulties, we can ask local residents to help. So straightforwardly, we can tell other people to help. Thank you very much. That's all for my presentation. This is Ishizaka, Professor Ishizaka, thank you very much. The issues in Japan and overseas, including the target that we have to tackle or involve included in your presentation. Thank you very much. So we continue the discussions. let's talk with each other, getting rid of the time framework. So the purpose, content, method are clarified. So after talking about these 3 points, that we involve the participants. And lastly, I'm from Kochi. I have worked in primary school in Kochi, and including private school, I have 9 years of the teaching experience. I have experience of the class, and as the joint activities between local community and school, as a class, the teacher responsible for class, what to be done? So the communication between children and local residents and teachers, and nurturing human relationship is something that I can do, and it is very important. And in a community school, as for community school, now I am working in a school where this year management council was established.
学びがより豊かになるために、地域の方に協力をいただきながら、また学校としてこのような経
We
営
are
方針
receiving support from the local people so that the children can learn in a more fuller way. So we are promoting the mutual understanding, and we are creating the opportunity that we can collaborate together. There are many faculties, teachers, so we are one team looking at one direction to nurture, develop children. So that kind of consistent effort is required in school. That's how I feel. The content and the method is the same, but as the mentioned before, so life study, comprehensive study is the core. I once used at such school. So life study, comprehensive study, through that, the resilient curriculum was generated, and also being creative. By doing so, kids' learning becomes more authentic. I learned that firsthand. For children, well, authentic learning for children needs to be provided, which means not only inside the school, we need to engage local people, goods, and things, and people. So local human resources and environment needs to be well taken in, so that second grade I once taught, and at this region, tomato production is well known. So kids want to produce tomatoes. So how to cultivate tomatoes? So agriculture farmers taught the kids how to do so. And local people, well, tomato farmer, Ms. Tamura is well known. During summer holiday, we requested the farmer to support us. So we had a very meticulous previous meeting, and the kids would go visit the farm, and delicious tomatoes were produced. And this farmer Tamura is creating a sweet tomatoes, not only within the city, but kids wanted to spread it out to overall Kochi prefecture, and kids generate their own learnings. Let's say they come up with the ideas to create the posters, or they can write some sentences to introduce their tomatoes, and then they need to learn Japanese and or summarize the graph so they can utilize the math knowledge. So there's this necessity to learn certain things. So according to the necessity, they select the learnings and develop the learnings. That's what I witnessed at the time. So utilizing the local people, local assets, So this is the beauty of our hometown, and people are kind, and how can I contribute in the future? So that kind of passion would grow increasingly. So that kind of learning existed there. I witnessed firsthand. So not containing the learnings inside the school only, but we should look at the local communities like broadly, and we engage local people and ask for support from them. That is very important, I thought. That's the role of community school. One thing, an important point, I thought. Sorry, my topic is quite broad, but thank you so much. Thank you very much. Very useful, nice comment. So as Takezaki sensei mentioned, well, Hayato sensei also shared with us some keywords as well, authentic learning. Thank you. In the presentation of Takezaki sensei, English version of the presentation, and this panel discussion was pasted in the chat box. So non-Japanese students, please do refer to them later on. You can download that. Now, Ms. Takezaki, thank you very much. In my presentation, objectives and contents and directions. So I believe I was able to communicate that. Sasayama 100-year plan. So that was the project, and that's how we started out. And major objective. Why Sasayama is one of the biggest objective is to activate the local communities. So as mentioned, well, the integration, due to the integration, many schools are being closed. And before we established the Tosayama school, there is the city council meeting. So people are commuting by bus. And Tosayama village, there were buses for kids, school bus. And kids had to go to the center of the city, spending money. And however, people will not come to the local area. Rather than that, kids would go to the center of the city. But the closing school from the local community, well, people there was against the idea because the community will decay. So school has to be in the community. And for that, the ideas, converse ideas. So kids disappear, school should be closed. That should not be the case. But to prevent that, what can we do? So as a model example, I had to do my best. I was requested to do so. So think outside of the box or think opposite way. Initially, we thought there would be the gradual increase. And I thought 3 years. With that time span, I have to change drastically because people's mindset, gradual change doesn't stand out. So within 3 years, I had to do all the things that I could do. And with that, Kochi City members, well, if we can communicate and the message conveys, and then they will come and the community doesn't decay. And Tosayama is a very closed village. It used to be. And kids and parents are coming in together, and there is this open communication. So not closed. So there is this one of the breakthrough. Schools can be that trigger. So charm of Tosayama, charm of school, and the attractiveness. Well, needs to be known by many people. That is the core of the concept. As all the panelists said that anything goes. So teaching materials is one of them. And what capabilities can be learned? That's most important. Tosayama School students, well, the teachers have this ambition. Kids need to be able to talk, be able to present, and communicate on an equal basis with their counterparts. What materials, what topics is better? So is that relating to the local community? That will be better. And after 9 years, the topics kind of run out in reality. And Tosayama things needs to be utilized. So SDGs, so we would freeze food and kids collaborate with businesses and think about how to make it commercialize it and lose the waste. That was last year's initiatives. Any topics is okay. The local community, so as a local resident, what kind of capability do we want kids to gain? If you think of that, then automatically lots of things would come out. Well, direction is not one way. It should be the interactive win-win. Before I go there, there was kind of the newsletter written by the principal. And then, however, I was very, very busy. I couldn't do that. Even no matter how much you try to communicate that with the newsletter, people will not understand. But the mass media, they will show that on a TV program and local people will be happy. And what we do at school can be disseminated. And the broader people would collaborate with us. And there should be the kids in the center, students in the center. Methodology-wise, it should be the both way. It should be win-win. And we need to find out the sustainable way for schools. Takezaki sensei, thank you very much. So there are buses, population decrease, and Tosayama kids should go to the inside the city. And a lot of the local community is taking that kind of measures, and it's not working out. That's how I felt. Now, QA session. Any questions are okay? Any questions?
すみません。じゃあ、質問というか感想かもわかりませんが。
This is not the question, but my impression where you talk about the think outside of box or think conversely, opposite way. So outside of the city, people come and participate. So that's a good initiative, I thought. For example, which means Tosayama school, for example, other school. Well, similarly, let's say if there is this local resources, but what Tosayama school achieved, it's probably my personal opinion that the kids come in from diverse area and then diverse children study together. Also, foreign language by utilizing English and Japanese, they experience in a diverse manner. That's part of Tosayama School. And social study and school learning together. So that kind of diversity thinking, diverse scheme is enabled because you had that level of the basis, the scale, the foundation was there. That's how I felt. Do you have any take on this? Thank you for your comment. In Kochi Prefecture, there is Namegawa School, and in parallel with the Tosayama School. Namegawa School is rather integrated education was conducted, elementary school and junior high school together, way before Tosayama School, and probably less than 10 students in one class. So it's a small classes. And Tosayama School also, but they received more students that requires a lot of support. So some special support required students were there as well. So to stay close to such children, so that kind of education was delivered, and there is a good effect. So each school, Tosayama is to activate local communities. That was a big philosophy. So what kind of role school can play in the local community? Of course, studying, that is the biggest role of the school. But how to exist? What kind of presence do school want to have? So what we do at the school, well, can be done in the school that I used to work before. Well, but Tosayama has a very reflection of the local community. If you go to the Kochi city big school, then locality, the uniqueness, is a little different. So the school that I used to work before was educating the Nankai Trough earthquake, how school can save the lives of the people. So that was taught in the comprehensive learnings. So the scale and the location and the local community that school belongs to. So with that, the roles of the schools needs to be explored. That's one of the things. So comprehensive studying time. With that school trip, I used to lead students like that. So I was immersed in that. But for the first time, I came to Tosayama School and full-fledgedly worked on the comprehensive learnings. And students grow in the capabilities and be able to connect with the local community. That was amazing.
Did I answer to your question? So as for the school education, for example, equality and fairness, but the other elements are important, and there are various education methods. I learned from your opinion. Thank you very much. So there are many questions coming. And the next one is that in the past, you might have faced the issues. What are the impressive ones or issues that you have to tackle in the future? So do you have any plan to tackle the difficulties? And this question is for all of three panelists. So about the future. So how we can tackle the issues? Yes. So as for the depopulation, we cannot stop. So, but in such a situation, how to do sustainable activities and school management, those are the big issues currently. And in the same as the past, we ask the cooperation of the local resident and school contribute to the local resident. So win-win relationship will continue, but we will expand the relationship to the outside of the local community. And some guardians or the parents come from outside of school zone or Kochi city or Kochi prefecture, for we can expand the area from where people come. Thank you very much. So there is a school management council, and in my first year of the council, I looked at the previous document of the council at each event, school event, and other report in the document. And when I became a principal for the first year, I did the same thing. But in the council, there are experts. And this is a council. This is not a reporting meeting. So that we have to discuss in this meeting. And I changed my mindset, and we set the different topics each year, and the members discuss on the topics each year. So we changed the our style like that. And I said, as a school guardian and student, so based on school, each of the groups are connected. But communities and guardians or parents connection was the first target for us. So the local community activities should be something that the parents can join. I think local people might think that it's not appropriate to ask parents to join weeding. But those activities are not only tough, also fruitful. This is an example. Actually, we had a connection with a school in Niigata Prefecture, and we brought our children, our students to there. And after weeding, so the subsidy came. And a part of the subsidy will be utilized for the children's visit to the Niigata. And that is a part of school activities, and the money is spent on that. And parents participated more in the weeding or cleaning activities. And since people started to know each other gradually, and more, the local residents and the parents have had the lot of connection. And in the school festivals, the locally grown products were brought to sell. And parents were happy to buy those fresh products. So the discussions have been done like that. And each year we set a certain topics to be discussed in the council, school management council. And actual working force and community for each topic put idea into practice. As for the issues, as I already mentioned, if we focus on local communities, we consume up all of the elements. We did use strong festivals many times, so the mannerism will occur if you utilize the same topics again and again. So we have to create something new. We have to go one step ahead. So that have been the pressure on teachers, the party of teachers. If we do the same thing as others, there is no need for people to come to Toseyama observing the current situation of the student in Toseyama. We will find the issues for a betterment of the school. This is the kind of driving power of the energy. But since our final target is to continue this area for 100 years, not only Tosayama study, but also school uniform, since there are various students in Kochi City, we changed the school uniform as a first learner. And we don't have to do the same things in together, but we sometimes have to step one step forward. And if we gain something, we return the profit to other schools. And if we can make a curriculum management plan, we can provide the plan to other schools. We convey our practice to other schools. And if they are happy to utilize our ideas, we are happy as well. And we can help those schools and students between the schools have communicated with each other, and we visit their schools, and their schools visit us for better communication. Thank you very much. As for the issues, as you said, so the expanding three parties should be connected, the parents, local residents, and the students, three parties. And there are cooperative parents or the guardians, but among them, they may be rare, but there are non-cooperative parents. They are not interested in school activities or children's activities. It may be rare, but as for the efforts of the school, that we want parents to understand the charms of the school and how to propagate the information of the strong points of our school is very important. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that the population cannot be stopped and expanding the area. And the connection of parties are the key points, and return to the local communities and sharing with communities are the key points. In regard to those points, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask a question, please.
I'm very happy to attend this event, very interesting. I visited Tosayama School last September with Professor Kusaka. Okay. Now, you mentioned that 50% of students are outside Tosayama schools. Now, I want to know if each student gets a bad school easily, because many of them are far from school. If they get easily a school bus.
はい、これが高知市のプロジェクトの
So
中
this
で。
is one of the projects done by Kochi City, and the budget is very restricted. The budget was so big at first, very big. And as for the school bus, since this is a specially approved school, and there are 6 schools as such in Kochi City. Namegawa Gakuen is one of them. For those schools, children outside of the school zones can come. And in Kochi City, there is a seaside and a mountain side, but only Tosayama Gakusha can use school bus for free because of the 100-year school plan. This is a project of Kochi City. But before coming to Tosayama, I got angry. We are the same, the schools in the same Kochi city. Why Tosayama only is privileged? The buildings is very new, facilities and equipment are so gorgeous. So they are so lucky. So in my former school, there was not enough budget and activities were not able to be carried out. So the Tosayama gave up electric blackboard. Then the budget can be shared with other schools. I proposed like that. Even though other people did not agree with me, but still only Tosayama was privileged. If people think like that, we should prevent this kind of situation happening. So the result of that Tosayama should be shared with other schools, other merit and profit should be shared with other schools. And if we are asked to go there, we respond to their request.
最初、土佐山学者に私が赴任した時ですが、教育委員会にちょっと来てください。
One surprise that I would like to share is that first time I went there, Principal Ms. Takezaki, 6.9 million yen is the budget you have at Tosayama School in total. I was very surprised. 9 million yen. There is this designated project and the budget is usually 200,000, 300,000, but 6.9 million, including hiring the ALT and major designated project. So 2 million yen from the prefecture. So the school started out from there. Currently, there is no such budget. But how Tosayama School as one project to be a success? I was thinking about that all the time, but maybe it might not have been fair. We had the privilege, maybe. I'm asking many questions. Sorry. In Tokushima, there's a similar situation to Tosayama. Komatsushi City has less population. At the age of 18, people go to the other prefectures, to the university. The age 22 to 23, they will come back. There are quite a few people like that. But around age 25, 26, once again from the city, they go outside because 25, 26, when they get married, thinking about the children in the future, they will go to the other places because Komatsushima City, lots of students. And they cannot go to the high school. So when they build the house, they would choose outside of the Komatsushima area. Intentionally, people goes out and depopulation regions and build the school there is a great idea, I thought. Thank you for sharing. But even with these excellent schools, but the parents, well, need to have a job. Employment matters. So Tosayama region, is there any employment good situation there? Just share that with us. That is a bottleneck. That is a problem. Businesses, Tosayama Development Organic Farming Company. So they would have the vegetables and deliver the vegetables. There are such things. However, it is a very, very small business. Not many people are employed there. So going back to the area, there is no place to work. Therefore, to reside for good might be difficult. So we need to have the cycle. So after graduating Tosayama School, kids get engaged in the future of Tosayama in their work. For example, get a job outside of Japan as well to communicate the beauty of citrus fruit. They wish to do so, and they wish to use English for that. So directly working in that region, rather than that, what they've learned can be utilized in their occupation, on their job. With that, distribution channel can be increased. And the first graduates are now 22 years old. Yes. So in the future, how they are going to be like that? What kind of adult they will become? What kind of job they would create? How it will be? So that we can learn from that.
Okay, good morning. I visited this school a few months ago, and I was really impressed by the way the students interact in English. And I want to know if there is any specific curriculum for this school, and how they motivate the people in English and learning teaching. Yeah, how they motivate the students in English learning.
Ah, なんか、こういったいろんな活動をする上で、カリキュラムというのは特別に作っているというか、なんか、カリキュラムを作るときに、
はい
てるのかというと、
はい。
今言われたモチベーション。
モチベーション。
どう
はい。はい。特別なカリキュラムというと、やっぱり土佐山
So special curriculum. So it's a comprehensive learning, Tosayama learning. So that's a unique subject, I believe we have. And English, well, everywhere they teach English, but Tosayama school, well, we welcome people, and then we give the opportunity for students to use English. And we have sister school in Melbourne, Australia. And there's a frequent communication with there. So in the beginning, classes versus classes, but now they use tablets. So one-on-one, students get connected with the students in Melbourne. They communicate. Also, ALT, one of the ALT teachers Hawaii, teaches fathers in Hawaii, and the Hawaii University students or Melbourne school, elementary school kids, they're learning Japanese. And Tosayama school kids teach Japanese to them. So in that way, they have communication also in English as well. So it's a very unique aspect. We want to promote that. Motivation-wise, once again, a regional, a community people to be happy. That is very, very important for the motivation. And senior students, so the younger ones try to pass what their seniors did. So last year, our senior students did this, so we want to be better so that we can promote and appeal our local community. So it's introduced on TV. So we need to engage local people. And I strongly feel the importance of that. So what we can do, I always think about that on a constant basis. I think that's the motivation for local people to engage in the school education. Thank you for your question. Well, I wish to continue this discussion, but there is a time limitation. We have to close by 1 p.m. So let me go to the next question. But you can talk later after this session. It's a different perspective. Information society, ICT, post-COVID, online and virtual transition is happening. So virtual learning is accelerating. So first, face-to-face physical learning might have become difficult. So could you share your opinion about this point? Up until recently, online. The first year of the COVID, we had the online classes 100%, and gradually it has transitioned to hybrid, but now it's almost 100% face-to-face. And as you know, the difficulties, the pros and cons of online, but we can utilize it in an effective, efficient way. We can get connected with the people who's not here in this venue. The distance doesn't matter anymore, so we should use online to get connected and be able to communicate. Information volume or this kind of first-hand experience communication volume will be less, but we can exchange information. So online is an effective tool and in the future as well. So hybrid is required. We should make a judgment accordingly. So Sayama School at the time of COVID, we couldn't have face-to-face classes. So what we did was that one grade created a TV commercial, Sayama region, how to promote in the TV commercial. And we brought that to here and there and broadcast that. And it was on the web page, homepage of Kochi City, and Ministry of General Affairs have the local community movie contest. So inside Shikoku, and we have created 3 TV commercials and presented that. And one of them became the best 2. And they put it up on the homepage, web page. So face-to-face classes was not done, and we came up with this idea of commercial making. And post-COVID time, people will come and visit us. So during the COVID, we have created 3 commercial. Maybe it still is on the Kochi City webpage. It's a 3 minutes of the videos, 3 TV commercials. So commercial making, that's fun. I would like to refer to that. During COVID, face-to-face opportunity was deprived, and children's communication and first-hand learning, live learning opportunity became way less. Sometimes it was unfortunate, but ICT usage. Myself, I didn't use ICT since I came here last year, but communicating in the foreign language, and it was possible, but you don't have to go to the venue, but you can communicate with the foreign person, like far away. So you don't have to transfer. With one tablet, you can get connected. Convenient, it's easy. And children feel the sense of achievement. They could say things that they wanted to say. And as mentioned, hybrid. Well, objective or the occasions, what kids wants to achieve. So according to that, we have to decide hybrid, face-to-face, or online. That's how I feel. Thank you. Anybody who would like to ask questions or make comment about this point regarding ICT? Okay. Last question. In the initiatives in the local communities, what kind of follow-up should be done for the students who's graduated? At my university, so in my seminars on a weekly basis, well, there were 2 beginning half, 2 latter half. We invite alumni and online discussion is held. So what kind of job they have, what they do, and this person, sometimes they would go abroad or in Japan, and in the education field, what do they do? What kind of theme they are dealing in? So we are sharing that with the students, inviting alumni. Thank you. So those alumni who's graduated, Tosayama School, first student who graduated, they are age 22, 23, and the local community wanted to have the celebration when they reached the age 20. So they gathered together, and everyone together. There was a celebration with the Tosayama whole area. But we planned that, but with COVID, we couldn't do that. We couldn't connect people online. However, maybe, possibly, maybe they're planning for the next round.
Another thing is in the children made a presentation on Asahi Shokuhin to the school. The last lesson, and Fukui principal was responsible for the school at that time, together with a teacher responsible class. What is the contribution to the local community? That was a question from the teacher and the student in the this area or outside area. So there is no shape or the frameworks of the local contribution to the local communities. Even if we are living in this area or outside of the area, anytime, anywhere, we can do some contribution to the local communities. And teachers started crying, being impressed by very deep insight of a student. That last lesson was so impressive, and they understood the contribution to the local community as such, and they want the local resident to be happy, and this the motivation will continue because they will bring their high school friends, even if they graduate from the school, to join the festivals, and the graduate of the Tosayama introduce the Tosayama product to their new friends. And yuzu, they thought of their idea of trading yuzu citron to outside of Japan. So they consider how to contribute to the local communities. I think this is a direction that we have to go in our teaching. So the mind is a key point. So during being a primary school student, having experience of communication with local residents is very important, so that they can nurture their affection for local communities by doing such an activities. So I'm from this primary school. I was born in this area. That is good. And when even they become adult, they want to contribute something to their hometown. So we want to raise children like that. So I want to provide their school activities or educational activities to the students, thinking about this important point in mind. And lastly, it is a question to Takezaki Sensei, Professor Takezaki. So this person is very interested in Professor Takezaki as a person. And there are future teachers and current teachers joining here. And you are the role model for them. What was your turning point to become a teacher? Why? What made you to decide to become a teacher? So I am an ordinary person. I have done ordinary thing. And during the dinner last night, I started as a junior high school teacher. My career at Okochi Prefecture and the Municipal Board of Education. I went through that, and the school and for a special need, the workplace for me as well. And there is certain facilities in Naruto, the school to support children to become independent. And I also have experience of teaching at high school. Now I am teaching the graduate school in Kochi University. So I teach all these students high school, junior high school, elementary and university. And so the Kochi has a good climate. At a branch school, which is part of the school for where the student to support student to be independent. If this school does not work, they have to go to the refractory facility. So, but since the climate of Kochi is very good, the good blanket, the warm food provided, and teachers and the people around them are like the family members. So the children can change depending on the surroundings. When they come to the special facility, their facial expressions was so sharp, but the change changed. And that was the very origin of education. So that we had lots of discussion with those students. I changed my mindset. So even if they were raised in the very, very harsh situation, they didn't go to jail. So it's better. So actually, this topic was used for the speech concourse in English. And I chose this student to join the speech contest. But the topic of the student completely different. The student of the school to support them to be independent had very different topics as others. So they won some prizes. They talked about the change of their life, and they received the certificate or the prize certificate, and it was the first for them, and they didn't experience like that before. And they invited the parents and former teachers, and the parents or former school teachers cried, being impressed by the great growth, the development. And after spending 1 year in that school, those students go back to the original schools. But my experience of working at that special school to support students to be independent, actually those students committed some crime or something. But this experience of 1 year is great for me. That was my turning point, I guess. And I decided to continue my career as a teacher. Thank you very much for the panelists. Please give them a big round of applause. Before closing the meeting, so I will introduce the student who supported to manage this event. International is a keyword, and a practitioner or researchers may join. And the next meeting, so the topic is international cooperation. and UHHCR. From that, we will invite Otake-san, and from UN Habitat, we will have Ryosuke Teraoka, who is the head of office in Iraq. And all the issues, and all good points, and future plans or target will be discussed. The next meeting will be held on the 29th of July, Saturday, from 5 to 7 p.m. So both of them are very busy people. So this will be conducted online, and I don't know from where they will participate, from Iraq or Uganda, I don't know. But the day is approaching. I will give you more detailed information. If you are interested in the next meeting, please join at the next one as well. The student who helped this arrangement, please come to the stage. The fifth meeting was created. This is a handmade meeting, and the improvement have been done, and the improvement will be done from now on. But the student helped to organize this meeting. Please state your name and your research topic. And what's the good episode after coming to Naruto in 30 minutes? Global education and Naito. And my research topic is a junior high school English. The picture book is used for that. And what was a good point after coming to Naruto? I could talk with other people coming from other countries, and I experienced different cultures and value. I'm a graduate for first year. I'm a current teacher in Ibaraki Prefecture, and I started learning here from this year. My research topic is the programming, via programming education, algorithm education, comparison, international comparison. And what was a good point when I came here is I was able to join this meeting and could hear Takezaki Sensei's talk. I'm Ishihara, Yuto Ishihara from Naruto University of Education. The issue of the education for the people in overseas. And what is a good point is here I enjoyed the good educational environment. Global in education course. I'm secure. I'm second year graduate school. The first year graduate school student, and I haven't chosen the research topic. And when I came here, I found a good thing. And actually, until yesterday, I was in the defense force of Japan. But here, I now enjoy the freedom. Thank you very much for your coming today. I'm the fourth year student of the undergraduate school, Shino Manabe. The topic is so the motivation of the foreign language education in a primary school. Since Naruto University of Education is small scale, and we can have a close relationship with teachers, and we have a lot of chances to talk with the teachers. That's the good point. And another thing is that the on-the-job training teachers, the people that we can talk with, and I can learn from them. I'm the second year graduate school student. And my research topic is concerns of the English learning in the junior high school. And the good point here is it is surrounded with nature, and foods are very delicious. The people joining online, please come here. Good afternoon. I'm a second year graduate school at Minamino. My research topic is that is a method of the teachers. And actually, I retired my former job, and 10 years after retirement, I joined this course. And teachers here so kind and learned with very good care. And there are many students from other countries. And relearning is very meaningful for me. And there are the teachers who already retired. Please come to Naruto University of Education. You can enjoy learning here.
一言挨拶申し上げます。竹崎先生、お忙しい中、本学に来ていただいて、この土佐山学者の素晴らしい実践を共有いただいたことを本当にありがとうございました。また、足元悪い中、本学に来られた、対面で来られた方、またオンラインで日本全国、あるいは海外から参加された方、大変ありがとうございました。感謝申し上げます。さらに、今紹介いただいた、この運営に協力した学生の方々も、皆様のおかげで、なんとか、今日の会を進めることができました。どうもありがとうございます。さて、今日のテーマですけども、高齢化社会と、それから地域の人口減少っていう中で、どのように地域を活性化するのか、学校を核としてどのようにするのかということが話題でした。その中で、竹崎先生の紹介していただいた事例で、子どもたちが地域のことを学んで、しかも9年間、その一貫したプログラムで学習していくことで、地域のことを交流に持って、たとえその地域にいないにしても、将来に、その地域のことに対して貢献したいという心を持てるという、そういう成果を得られる素晴らしいプログラムについて紹介いただき、非常に感動しております。このようなことが、SDGs の中でも出てきます、ディーセントワークにつくっていうことにつながるんじゃないかなと思って聞いておりました。石坂先生、綾津先生が参加したパネルディスカッションでは、さらに、国際的な事例であるとか、それから、小学校の事例などを含めて、有意義な議論ができたんじゃないかなと思っています。やっぱりオーセンティックな内容を学習するっていうこと、そして、互いのつながりを重視するっていうのが大事なんだなというふうに深く感じました。ということで、次回以降も、この企画が続きますので、また皆さんぜひ参加してください。本日はどうもありがとうございました。
副学長、どうもありがとうございました。はい、それではすみません、かなり時間を、予定よりオーバーしたんですけども、非常に充実した議論興味深い講演をいただきまして、どうもありがとうございました。運営委員ですね、去年からずっと竹崎先生をお招きしたいって進めてまして、ようやくこの日が実現したということで、本当に嬉しく思っております。またぜひナルトに来ていただければしたら嬉しいです。お願いします。はい。それでは、これをもちまして、令和5年度第1回、国際協力トークライブ終わりにしたいと思います。本日はどうもありがとうございました。